Hello. In this video, we're going to go over a brand new installation we just completed of a Buderus G115 oil-fired forced hot water boiler using a Riello oil burner. So this is our oil burner. It's Riello. And this boiler comes all packaged with the burner and the high limit. This is a hydro level high limit. It has a digital display and an economizer. And it also has a low limit, but in this application, a low limit's not needed. So basically, the old system is a old gravity system. So years ago, before they had pumps, they used to pitch the mains, these large mains, back to the coal-fired boiler. And years ago, there was no expansion tanks either. So they had an open system, and they had a tank up on the roof, not that they would fill up and leave open. And that would just keep head pressure down here. Some of the old systems, they had a pipe that had an overflow in the basement. So when you filled up the system and you saw water coming out of the overflow, you knew the open system was full. But then they came out with expansion tanks and did away with that. So now this is a closed system. And so it's a two-zone system. One zone is connected to the old gravity system. The other one is just some cast iron baseboard in a separate zone. And so here's our spiral vent air eliminator and our expansion tank with an isolation valve to change it. Here is the secondary zone, which goes to the cast iron baseboard. And here's our main zone, which goes to all the cast iron radiators. So what's a great idea on circulators is to have a valve before and after the circulator. And they make Webstone makes these great valves. They're ball valves, but they're also IPS by flange, which means you can just spin them on, have a valve, and then with a flange, you don't have to add a separate circulator flange. And this one on this side, it's a ball valve with a flange and it's press. So that brings me to another thing I wanted to talk about is press fittings. Because we were adapting to existing copper in several different places, it was easier just to press everything. And so this is somewhat of a new way of connecting copper pipes together. You cut the tubing as you normally would, and then you have these special press fittings made by Viga. You assemble the fitting into the pipe without cleaning it, and we have a special tool that just presses this tool right on to the pipe, and it's extremely fast. You can press a whole bunch of fittings in a fraction of the time that before you would even be done cleaning the fittings on a soldering job, you'd be done. It's just lightning fast. Never seen anything so fast. I was reluctant to convert to press fittings at first because I'm old school and I can solder well, but these you almost can't afford to solder anymore with these fittings because they're that fast. They're just incredibly fast. Here's another neat product from Webstone. This is a combination valve and a purge. So for this single zone here, we can isolate it or shut it off here and open this to purge out the air. So it shuts off the flow going this way, and then this opens up so that you can purge the line of air. Then you just simply shut it off, open this when you're done. Great invention. In this job, we used a Khalifi combination backflow preventer and auto feeder. There's nothing wrong with the Watts one. This one works a little differently. You set the dial here with a screwdriver at the pressure you want, and it doesn't have a fast fill, and it won't put water greater than 30 pounds in, so you don't have to worry about blowing the relief valve like you do on the Watts. When you flip the fast fill on the Watts, you have to watch to be careful you don't pop the relief valve at 30 pounds. Well, that's not a problem with these. And I had to solder that joint because they didn't have a press, but this is all press. Even the valve is press. And another thing that's great about press is the shutdowns are minimal. So and they can be done under flow. So I had to shut the whole house down to cut this in, but it was probably only off like not even 10 minutes. So this is our draft regulator right here. And this draft regulator regulates the draft so that it would pull from the room instead of pulling the flame from the boiler. And we did an efficiency test, and that's where the hole was. So I cover it with RTV. Now, what I do on my boilers, and it's not code, but I really think it's a great idea, and it should be code, is I always come off of the boiler with a T instead of a 90 and put a cap on the end so you can clean it out without taking the flue apart. If a bird gets in there, it's just a great access point. These Grundfos 3-speed pumps are great. They have a 3-speed connection right up here, low, medium, and high, and you can adjust it according to whatever the job needs. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed it.